If you ever wanted to test your website automatically in a real browser, this video is for you. We are going to look at how to use Playwright with Pytest for automated testing in Python. Playwright is a modern testing framework from Microsoft that let you automate browsers like Chrome, Firefox, and Safari. You can simulate real user actions like clicking buttons, filing forms, and navigating pages, and check that everything works as expected. PyTest, on the other hand, is a very popular Python testing framework. It makes writing and running tests super simple, and it gives you powerful feature for organizing, reporting, and integrating with CI/CD pipelines. By combining Playwright and PyTest, we get the best of both worlds: powerful browser automation with a lightweight and flexible test runner. In this video series, I'll show you step by step how to set up project, install dependencies, write your first test, and run it locally. And we'll also prepare it so you can easily run it in CI pipelines. If you haven't installed Python and VS Code, please check my video on it. Link is in the description. Let's create the project folder. I'll name it test project. Now open this folder in VS Code. Let's first create the virtual environment so that our packages remain isolated for this project only. To create virtual environment, type python -m -venv dot venv. This will create a folder in our test project. To activate it, let's type venv script activate .ps1. So you can see now we activated the environment. For command in Mac and Linux, check the description. Now we'll let the VS Code to use this environment. For that, we open the command palette using Ctrl+Shift+P and select the Python interpreter and choose the one with the recommended setting here, virtual environment. All right. Okay, let's install our packages. Instead of installing packages individually, we will create a requirement file with all the packages listed because it ensures everyone working on the project gets the exact same version of all the dependencies. Okay, so in your project directory, create a file name requirement.txt. And the packages we are going to list here are Playwright, Pytest, and Pytest, Playwright, the version, make sure all the spellings are correct, and let's save the file, and let's run this file on your terminal with the virtual environment running and activated. pip install -r requirements.txt. So it will install all the packages listing in the requirement.txt file. For me, it says the requirement already satisfied because I have already installed it here, and it will automatically install any dependencies required by these packages. Now let's install browser binaries. For that, write and run python -m for module playwright install. So this will download and install the necessary browser binaries for Chromium, Firefox, and WebKit. So now we have installed our packages and browser binaries. Okay, go ahead and create a test folder, and inside the folder create a test file called test_login.py. So in Pytest, every test file and test function should also start with test underscore, and then whatever name we want to give our test file and function is after that. This naming convention is how Pytest automatically discover and run tests without extra configuration. So let's first import Pytest. This is our test runner. Now let's import the page object from Playwright. From Playwright dot sync API import page. Okay, we are going to write our first login test. For that, we create a function. Let's start it with the test underscore and then our login name. So for that, we start our function with def and the function name test underscore. Let's say it's login underscore success. Notice that the function takes a page argument. This is a built-in Pytest Playwright fixture. Remember we installed this package earlier. You can see that in requirement file here. So what this does, it gives a fresh browser page to work with for every test. So you don't have to worry about startup and tear down, and we just focus on the test stuff. Okay, so for the test purpose, we are using the website SauceDemo.com. Let's copy the URL. Okay, so okay, let's check this website. This is a demo website, and at the bottom you can see the login credentials. Let's fill it in using our test. Okay, first let's see the locator for input field. Right click on the input field and inspect the element. Here you see you can locate input field using all these attributes. Let's choose the element by role. For this input field, it's text, so it will be text box and the name will be placeholder username. Let's copy it. So remember, it's an accessible name. It's not the same as the HTML name you can see here. So let's go to our test. So it's text box and the name we just copied. We paste it here. Dot fill. So here we provide our username. So let's check the website again for the username. So this is the one. Copy it and paste it here. Now let's use the different method to get the password element. So okay, let's get the data attribute. So this one. So let's copy it. Go to your test. For that, use page.fill. It's an input field with the attribute data test equals password. The password here. So let's check the password. Let's copy it. Paste it here. Okay, it shows some error. Let's check if I missed something here. Okay, that's perfect. Okay. Okay, let's get the element for button. So we can choose either get by row, which is button in this case because the type is submit, or we can use the data test or the data attribute. So let's get the data attribute and go to our test. And for a button, instead of fill, we use page.click. Okay, so we don't have to provide another argument because it's a click. Notice that it's indicated that something is wrong here. So let's put this in single quote instead of double. See, the error is now gone. Let's do the same here. Okay, so now we need the URL of the page. It will land after login. So we can assert our test. Let's log in onto the website. So let's copy the username. and password, log in. So here you can see the URL. So let's copy it and go to your test. So let's assert. Okay, so finally we added an assertion to check that the browser navigates to the inventory page. If the login was successful, this URL will match. If not, the test will fail. So let's run the test. So this test ran on Chromium and it passed. So let's see it running. So using headed. So you see it was too quick, but it started the browser, it performed all the steps and assert that the URL is correct. Okay, let's write a negative test to provide coverage for it. Let's copy our test and name it failure. Okay, now let's try another method to get the elements. So we learned all different methods too. So here instead of role, we can use placeholder. So the name here we use is already the placeholder, the username, and let's change it to something which is incorrect, wrong user. And for password, let's use the ID. Okay, let's check what's the ID. So ID is password. Let's copy it and here. So remove it all. And for password, we use hash and our password. Okay, and for wrong pass, we use the wrong pass. So here we use the placeholder method and then the ID method. And for the button, let's do, let's check out. Let's do the visible text method, the login one. So for that, get by text. Dot click. Okay, so now let's remove this line. So in this test, we use different method to get element. So Playwright recommended method is to get by role, which is text box, button, links, etc. Then it's attribute, which we use here, and then ID, only if it's stable. Sometimes there are generated IDs which is not very stable to use in our test. Also the visible test here, the login, that could change later. Instead of login, it might get changed to sign in. So always use the one which are stable. Okay, now let's assert. Before that, let's see What's the behavior of the website upon invalid login? Okay, so let's provide anything. Okay, so now you can see there is an error. Let's inspect it. So you can expand from here. Okay, so let's grab this one here. So we need our content for this error message. So it's h3 data test equals error button. Okay, let's now put that in a variable called error message. Okay, let's assert. So we need some text from the error to assert. Let's grab this. In error message. Okay, let's save it and try to run. Here you see it says there is some kind of issue with this locator. Let's check. Okay, so here you go, see we have two data tests here and here, so we need to take this one. The other one is for the X button on the error message. So let's change it here. Okay, let's save it and see if it's working. Yeah. And that's the end of today's lesson. Here is a quick recap. Today we set up Pytest and Playwright, wrote our first login test, and explored multiple locator strategies. Next time, we'll make our test cleaner and more usable with fixtures and handle login credentials securely. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.